Greetings, Gababity here. But in Guild Wars 2, you may know me as Itchy Baboog, or Itre for short. If you're at all familiar with Guild Wars 2, then you've probably heard of a gameplay mode called World versus World. In World versus World, you're pitted against two other servers, so it's three servers head to head, and you're vying for control points on the map. Okay, there's keeps, towers, and supply points. The point of this video is to address my level of I've been disturbed by the sheer lack of tactical or strategic gameplay by the majority of players in World versus World. Sure, there are organized guilds that do this sort of thing for a living, or there's maybe small groups of players that do it but don't communicate effectively and just keep to themselves. But the average player that just hops in occasionally or even all day long, they see World versus World as like a standard PvP on a really big map. Like, let's just go hunt down people and let's just go ahead and take these points, but let's do it with a bunch of people because it's easier that way. Now, basically, they just head to the nearest Zerg and add more people to it. Let's go with the flow. Zerging, if you've heard of it before, it's a common practice on any PvP game that involves the control of points on a map, on a relatively big map, where there's a bunch of people. There's several games like this. There's like in World of Warcraft, there's something called Tolbarad, or like Winter Grasp. There's a big map, you control points, but what people do is they go to the nearest big group and they move as a team. Okay. Or like in the Secret World, there is the big old open world PvP map where people just find the nearest group and they go together. And those kind of games is kind of okay because there isn't that much strategy involved. It's still not okay. Okay. But there's no advanced strategy. Okay. There's no like advanced weapons or anything, or supply or resources. Okay. Now, what people do is they see the problem in your typical Zerg is that most people don't really know what they're doing, or they just go with the flow. They're not the ones making the calls, so they don't feel obligated to make a strategic call or make anything besides what their neighbors are doing or what the person in front of them is doing. They just go with the group. So I look in map chat in World versus World, and I see someone declare, "Everyone come to insert location here." Need more players, or and then players will head to that location and join the other like 60 players doing the same thing, just running around Braveheart style in the field of battle, just whacking away at a gate with a dagger. Just whacking away at this big old gate, just pow pow pow, taking forever. Or they just find more players and they just take over the group and they keep on moving around this big old ball of players just moving around the map in a big old circle. And then the other enemy Zerg follows them or meets up with them and they form a big old battle and it goes away, or just whoever has more players wins, basically. Now, or a player may join the map or join World versus World and say, "Where's the Zerg?" or "Where's our group?" indicating that or assuming that there's only one group on that entire big map, which sometimes there is just one big group, and people just head towards it. And that's disturbing. If you're not aware, the term Zerg comes from a game called StarCraft. In StarCraft, you take control of one of three species. There is the Terran, Zerg, and Protoss. Terran, they're humans, they're mechy, they're tanky, forticated. The Protoss, they're futuristic, really resource dependent because they're more powerful, kind of, and they have less numbers. And then the Zerg, they rely on massive numbers and the ability to produce an army really fast to win. Now, the typical strategy of the Zerg is to overtake the enemy by producing a massive army and just slowly chip away at the enemy defenses, or produce the right combination of units to take over, the enemy. But it's still based upon massive numbers. That's what the whole Zerg idea is about. And now the typical counter against the Zerg in like StarCraft is just to sit tight and fortify, build an army behind your wall defenses, and then go out and destroy the Zerg's resource supply to stop the machine of war. Stop them from producing more players or more units. Now, in World versus World, players march forth into battle with little to no resources on hand, with no advanced weapons, siege weapons or whatever, and no strategy. The Zerg mentality of just joining the nearest wave of players and just washing over the battlefield simply doesn't work. The only time it does work is when you're facing a Zerg from the enemy player, a weaker Zerg. So if you're a Zerg, the only way it works is if you're fighting a Zerg, or if you are attacking an unupgraded and unfortified keep or tower or supply point. That's the only way it works. Many times I walk up to one of these epic battles and I witness players like 40 players attacking a gate, without siege weapons. And do you know how long it takes to bring down one of these massive gates? These gates are big. Okay, if you can imagine marching up to the gates of Jurassic Park or like the King Kong gate, with like a hatchet, just whacking away, how long that would take? That's about as long as it'll take to take down one of these gates in the game by yourself. But if you have like 40 people attacking the Jurassic Park gate with a hatchet, it'll come down eventually, maybe half an hour, 2 hours, That's about as long as it takes in this game. Not so much 2 hours, but 10 minutes, which is a long time in gameplay world of just doing the same thing, attacking a gate. People turn on their auto attack and just walk away and get some coffee, come back, and they're still doing the same thing. Now, with siege weapons, it's pretty fast, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. Now, the whole time that they're attacking the gate, they're being attacked from above, with arrows and stuff, or fireballs. Or like a group may come from the side, enemy players, and start to flank the enemy or flank your side and start to spread out the Zerg, and then a group may come from behind and spread it out that way. And then as they're fighting this gate, it just gets all spread out and ugly. So for a typical scenario, let's say that 50 players run towards a tower gate, start attacking, without siege weapons. Things are fine. The gate is slowly losing life. Maybe they get it down by 10%. You can actually see some black in that red bar. So they think they're doing good. If it's not going down fast enough, they may call for more help. At this point, the enemy starts showing up, starts thinning out the group. Half the group goes to attack that group, other half keeps attacking the door. Now, if the enemy players are in the ballpark or smart or reasonable or whatever, some of them will always go inside the tower or the keep. Okay, some of them always go inside, and they'll attack the Zerg from above with arrows and stuff like that. As the Zerg starts to thin out, they'll start to back up and back up and back up away from the gate. Okay. Now this allows people inside the tower to come out. Now you have the gate right here and the Zerg right here. The Zerg starts moving this way, and then there's two Zergs now, the enemy Zerg and your Zerg, and it's starting like a tug of war effect. Away from the gate, towards the gate, they get back to the gate, they attack the door some more, attack the guys up above. Now like the Zerg is spreading up over the hills and backing up further and further. More players come and join the Zerg. Now it's just like this big old battle right in front of the tower, or the keep. And it lasts for a while, if they're stupid. If they're not using siege weapons, it'll last for a while. And all it takes is for the enemy, for the defending side, to place like one arrow card up there, while the group is distracted, and to shoot down there. It'll like disperse the group like roaches. Or if they're stupid, they'll keep attacking in the midst of a rain of arrows, and then they all die, and then it's over, you know. And usually, the Zerg mentality only works is if you have more people or more skilled people at PvP, or if they have better gear, you know. But it's basically a numbers game, and you go like clockwise or counterclockwise around the map, clearing points, you know. And the main problem with this, besides it just being ridiculous, is that people don't upgrade the keeps. They just take a keep as a group, and then they move on to the next tower, they move on to the supply point, move up and around, and they're leaving their points undefended, which allows the enemy to retake it. You know, some people may like this. They may like the fact that they're getting XP or karma points. It's like a currency in the game to buy stuff. They may like the fact that they're retaking it. Or they may say, hey, look, we're winning by 200,000 points. You know, chill. You know, it's fine. We're winning. Well, you're winning now. You know, what if you actually face an enemy that knows what they're doing? Sometimes, during certain hours of the day, skilled players come on, and the Zerg thing doesn't work. You know, you can't just form a group of players and attack a wall. If a wall has arrow carts and cannons and a catapult in the back and a ballista, you're not getting anywhere near that wall. You know. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to propose that strategy isn't just locked down to guilds, you know, or to small groups of critically thinking players. I want it to be spread out to the entire server, or to all servers. And all it needs is just effective communication and knowledge of the game mechanics. So I'm trying to push out the game mechanic, the game mechanic knowledge, plus certain kinds of strategies that you can use. You know, after you know those mechanics. But strategy kind of comes with it. If you know how things work, then you know how they work together, and then you could think and know how to prevent something from happening. You know, like if you take away the complexity factor, if you take away the difficulty factor of doing something that's foreign to you, if it becomes like second nature, then why not do it as you're running by? If it doesn't take that much time, just do it when you run by. You know, I'm pretty sure that people join the Zerg because they just don't know how the mechanics work, you know, or they don't know what they don't know, basically. They don't know what supply does, you know, or where to get it from, or when to have it on them, you know, should be all times, but they don't know why it's important. They don't know the extreme importance of siege weapons, or how to place them, or how to help somebody build them, or where to get the siege weapons from, or how to buy them. They don't know how to upgrade keeps or towers or supply points, or what it means to upgrade them, or how important that is, and how it changes everything. They don't know what the sentry points in the map do, you know. It's just an NPC guy that defends. But they don't know what that does. And they don't know why it's important to escort the caravans, or even the fact that there are supply caravans, and what they're doing, where they're going, you know. They don't know what happens when you capture an NPC village, you know, or why that's important, or what sort of effect that has beyond just points, you know. People see World vs. World as like a point game, but it is a point game. It's points towards you're getting buffs and everything. You're getting buffs for your whole server, but it's a actual war. But see, people don't know what they don't know, to the point where it just seems complex and foreign and a hassle to do all that stuff. And say, hey, if we're winning and the Zerg is working, why change it? You're being, you know, you're bothering us by saying all these words, you know. So what I'm doing is I'll be creating a tutorial series breaking down every point in detail about how to do certain things or everything in World vs. World. I'm gonna try to keep it organized. I've been compiling game footage and everything, and so it'll be a nice tutorial series. You can go to individual points or see the whole thing as a entire entity. So I kind of want to finish all the videos before I publish anything, because I want it to be a complete project. And my goal is to teach everyone how to play, and then to have them teach their friends how to play, so that everyone knows, So it'll actually be fun. See, I don't care if the enemy watches the videos or reads tutorials or learns how to play, because it'll make the game more fun. It'll make it a strategic game. Like, what if in StarCraft or Command and Conquer or games like that, you just were given 100 units and the enemy has 100 units, and your goal was to, attack that group and just sit there and watch. That's what World versus World is a lot of the time with the Zerg mentality. It's like you have an arm and you're fighting back and forth and you're flipping over and say, I killed 10 people, I'm awesome. I was like, okay, did you systematically work to overtake that tower by placing your trebuchet up on the hill behind you and take out their catapult with a ballista and place the arrow carts beforehand and upgrade your wall and send out a side group to distract them across the map while they're attacking your base so that they'll split their numbers, There's so much you could do to make this game awesome, It's awesome. So, if there's anything you want to know about this game, about the World versus World mechanics, just write it in the comments below, and I'll gladly answer everything in detail. And if there's anything in this video I said wrong, I probably said a couple things wrong, but I will be fleshing everything out in detail. Or if I was offensive or condescending to anybody or whatever, if you felt kind of hurt by whatever I said, I called you stupid or something, please don't take offense. It's like the term ignorance is not you're not calling somebody stupid. You're declaring that they don't know something. It's not bad that they don't know something. They just don't know it. But it's when that person defends that they shouldn't know. It's like, why should I know that? But they don't know what they don't know. And then they just let the information spread. It's fine. But if you want to know anything, just write in the comments below, and I will answer in the comments, or I'll make other videos to address those points. But just know, in about a week or so, I will have the full tutorial out, or at least half of it out, or certain components out, after I get feedback and everything. But I'm on Northern Shiver Peaks. My game name is Gubaberty backwards. Gubaberty is my YouTube video name, so it's Baboog. You can add me to your friends list, it's fine. And I will take anybody through the game and show them everything. I do it all the time. I talk to the map, and I say, hey, anybody want to know anything? And then they whisper me, and I meet up, I form a group, and I take them around every point, and I talk to them and vent and mumble, and I tell them everything that they want to know. And I'm glad to answer anything. So for now, have a great day, and enjoy your stay. Have a great day. And play Guild Wars 2.